to the Caribbean's newest way to train. A smart, efficient system that promises to upskill your biggest asset. A training experience like no other, tailored to your specific business needs by some of the Caribbean's best minds.
So, everything about these e-learning courses is that they're designed to be broken up into bite-sized modules.
Each of these areas can easily be an entire course by itself.
You will be exposed to the various social media platforms and the application of their tools and techniques specific to Caribbean businesses.
This course was designed with you in mind.
Developing skills in the areas of coaching and motivation is essential.
We'll take a deep dive into the power of motivation,
Emotional intelligence,
social selling,
Brand management and marketing essentials for the Caribbean marketer.
better manage and balance time,
Building service excellence throughout the organization.
managing and maximizing customer touchpoints,
Digital essentials for the busy Caribbean sales or marketing professional or executive.
ways to use the power of leading up,
people management essentials,
Using industry-leading learning and assessment tools, employees can interact with quizzes and questions along the way, keeping them on their toes and engaging multiple parts of the brain, increasing their retention levels and giving them a better chance of success in the real world. Accurately track the progress of each individual employee so that you can measure growth like never before. Find out just how Caribbean Ideas Academy can help you unlock your greatest potential and achieve new heights.
Now, what you were just seeing is a video by the Caribbean Ideas Academy, which is dedicated to promoting online awareness and knowledge of the demands of the ever-changing technological trends for professional competencies. They strive to continuously improve effective learning methods for diverse professional communities in the region. And with me to talk more about this is the Managing Director of Caribbean Ideas Academy, Mr. Keith London II. Mr. London, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on the Now Morning Show. I know you told me don't call you Mr. London, so we're going to go with Keith from here. But we just saw the video, of course, about the company. Just give us a bit more insight into what the company is really about.
Yeah, sure. Good morning to everyone and good morning to the viewers. Thanks for having me here. Caribbean Ideas Academy is a little bit where we initially started as a marketing agency. When people hear Caribbean Ideas, they know us as a marketing agency, initially a digital marketing agency that evolved into a full-service marketing agency. But always in our DNA, there was training. We always did training, and like brands like Republic Bank, etc. We would advise and done training with them. In fact, over a 5-year period, we did 4 conferences where we brought down speakers from Facebook and YouTube and whatnot, etc. back in 2012. Over that period of time, so it was always in our DNA. And then the pandemic hit, and that really provided as a catalyst, really for us to fast track into e-learning. So you never let a good crisis go to waste. So we utilized that and launched this e-learning company, which really is where you have we have a platform, LMS, a learning management system, and then on it you have courses that you can engage over a period of time, spanning everything from HR, sales and marketing, growth mindset, leadership, and a whole vast array of it. I mean, I could talk about it for a while, so I'll pause a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to learn more about e-learning, because of course we are into the whole online platform now, and some people just think death by Zoom.
Yes.
So with this e-learning platform, I mean, is it going to be interactive? I mean, how can people get interested in wanting to join something like this?
Yeah, definitely. With e-learning, it's no longer just, as I say, death by Zoom, just staring at a screen. So for us, we've broken it up into biteable chunks, so 5-minute, 10-minute increments, and then you have spot quizzes inside of there, where you would engage and really drive that user engagement. And then, of course, we have assessment, so you measure that knowledge gap. Right. So you have a pre-assessment and one at the end, so that you're able to measure the knowledge gap for learners. And, their courses would span anything from total, we have where it goes like 3 to 4 hours of content time, but again broken up. And then we have some shorter courses, which are like compliance courses, just for knowledge base, which should span anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
Is it a hybrid approach? Are there ever going to be classes in person as well?
Yeah, actually, we have done and continue to evolve in terms of a hybrid approach. So we have seen where, for example, one of our clients in Barbados, we did an interactive session with them where we built custom case studies nascent to their space and their environment. And with that, there was a feedback mechanism, so there was hybrid. So we can have in-person elements layered on top of online, because when you really think of it, e-learning, yes, it's here to stay because the world changed with the pandemic. It's a $325 billion global industry, but from where we are, we're not going to segue immediately only into e-learning. There's going to be that middle ground in terms of hybrid, and quite frankly, some clients, they just have the preference for hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, people are they're trying hard to move into the e-learning, so they still want that kind of face-to-face interaction. Now, I was on your website and I was seeing that you have 31 courses. I know you gave us a few, but can you give us some more? And I mean, who are some of the Caribbean experts that are leading some of these courses?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things that we say at Caribbean Ideas Academy is by Caribbean, for Caribbean. So we tend to use the best-in-class facilitators. And those best-in-class facilitators, you know, we have names like Nigel Romano, Dr. Terence Farrell, Maxina Tong, Charlene Pedro, and persons of that ilk really who know what they're talking about. So spanning that, you know, we have, I would say, in a couple of broad buckets, we have HR and leadership. I would say sales and marketing, we have governance, and we have courses in compliance, and then we have a pet project surrounding sustainability. Sustainability is one of those buzzwords you hear that organizations today, everybody talk about, you know, wanting to achieve their sustainable development goals and alignment with that. But we have seen where there's a gap between achieving those goals and education and communication of it. So we want to bridge that gap by helping the average employee, the average Joe, understand what is sustainability. What does it mean? Even you here, as a woman in leadership and in face of it, what does that mean? How does that help you break that glass ceiling? So that whole sustainable concept, even for entrepreneurship, is really something we're very passionate about. But that is one of the buckets in terms of the overall courses that we do.
Nice. Now, your value proposition, tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, our value prop, you know, is that whole point I made earlier about by Caribbean, for Caribbean. You know, like we strongly believe in that. So a lot of people could say, hey, well, you know, you could log on and do Udemy or Coursera or whatnot. But our positioning is these persons that, you know, from North America, Europe, they would not have an understanding of our culture, our knowledge, the nuances to our market, how we do and say things. And it's been proven that, you know, it helps with the audience to, or the learner rather, to connect when you're using examples that are relevant to us. So for example, in one of our courses, Brand Management Essentials, we have where we would have used a global reference in terms of using Nike and whatnot, but then we drill it back down to using, for example, Angostura and their cocoa bitters and how they were able to launch it. So again, you see where the user is able to connect versus somebody kind of talking in a vacuum about it. So we've seen very, very good success with that. And even in things like looking at our customer service course, you know, like customer service is a particular pain point in Trinidad. So, you know, with knowing that and understanding that, you know, that's a big part of our value proposition. I guess the second part of our value proposition really deals with the cost, because looking at today's market and cost, and everybody is so cost minded. You know, we really look at where competitors, you know, traditionally, you would have persons of the ilk of, you know, as I said, Nigel Romano, Dr. Farrell, etc. And a course might cost for a 2-day program $3,500, $4,000, that sort of thing. And we're bringing it down somewhere in the space of $1,500, and you have a subscription for a year. And or we could create a custom course.
Because I was going to ask about that. Like, what if I want something tailored for me and my specific rules?
Yeah. In fact, one of the top financial institutions, and today we're working with them to create a custom course relevant to them and each of the levels in the organization. So for example, they have this custom course and it's relevant to, they want a version for the directors, they want a version for their junior staff, and then their middle management. So we're customizing it, taking into account the culture of the organization and the way they do things.
It sounds very interesting, and I mean, I love that you're getting the Caribbean perspective as well, because I know that you recently attended, was it the CSHRP event in Barbados? I mean, what were some of the outcomes coming out of that conference?
Yeah, and that was really good. Our curriculum development manager, Ms. Siobhan Agana, she attended and was one of the speakers there, and it was really where is really focused on a Caribbean perspective for HR leaders and what the future of it looks like. So Siobhan, you know, she really added value and was able to network and meet with other HR leaders, and they were very excited in terms of, like, oh my gosh, they've heard something, you know, that connects with them. And you know, we are always on the lookout for good facilitators that span the Caribbean. I mean, because we've just started, I would say, business, what, about 18 months now, as the e-learning component. We're very Trinidad heavy right now, but we're aggressively moving towards getting a more Caribbean outlook and having that diversity represented on our cadre of facilitators.
Now, this all sounds so very good, Keith. If anybody's watching and they want to get in contact with the company, any social media handles, websites they can go to?
Yeah, we're pretty active on, I'd say, LinkedIn and on Instagram. Of course, the website is CaribbeanAcademy.com. You should be seeing it on your screen now. And you know, we're there and very, very, very responsive. And feel free to reach out, either as if you're interested in being a facilitator on one arm, or if, for example, you're interested in doing courses. What we just to be clear, the courses right now are not open to the man off the street in terms of John Public. Right now, what we're doing is direct to company sales, where we go to organizations or deal with organizations, and they would then purchase courses on behalf of the employees. As we continue to scale and grow, the plan is ultimately to open it up to John Public, but this is our starting position, and with some 31 odd courses in our arsenal, and by the end of the year we should have some 75 that we've built ourselves in collaboration with our facilitators. That is really the direction that we're going.
Keith, thank you so much for joining us on the Now Morning Show and just sharing about e-learning and reminding us that Zoom is not the death. It's the way to go.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on
Thanks
the show.
for having me.
And that was Mr. Keith London, the Managing Director of Caribbean Ideas Academy, just sharing with us some of the courses on the e-learning platform. We have so much more. Stay with us, because up next we have Unique Not Different with Shamla Miraj. Stay with us.